In this video, I am going to be talking about a couple different ways that we can measure sensation and perception in infants. And this can be a tricky age to measure that because you can't ask the kid, hey, tell me what you're perceiving right now. They can't speak, they're nonverbal, at least for language in the way we know it. And so the big two ways that we measure this, one is through habituation and dishabituation, and the other is through high amplitude sucking. So those are the two ways I'm going to describe it, and I'll give you the definition first and then I'll give you some examples. So I'll start with habituation and dishabituation, although technically this plays a part in high amplitude sucking as well. Habituation is when you become used to something, and so you don't pay as much attention to it. So an example of this would be if you're looking for your sunglasses and you realize they were on your head the whole time. That's habituation. The sensation of feeling the sunglasses on your head, you just got used to it because it was constantly there, and so your brain sort of tunes out to it eventually. Or another example is feeling your feet in your shoes. You don't walk around continually feeling your feet in your shoes, but if I mention it now, thinking about it, you can definitely feel it. That's habituation and dishabituation. When you don't really feel it because it's this constant unchanging thing, why would you care anymore? That's habituation. When I mention it, and so you can think about it and you can feel those feet in those shoes, that's dishabituation, where something changes and so you notice it again. And we use this to measure perception in infants based on things like how long they stare at something. So if you show a kid a picture over and over again, eventually they're going to get habituated to it. Yeah, I've seen this picture before, I know it, whatever, it's boring. So they're not going to stare as long. If you change up the picture somehow, they'll notice it, and so they'll stare longer at it. Or if you show them a picture again and again, and then you give them two choices of pictures to look at, picture A or picture B, if they become habituated to picture A, they're going to choose to stare at picture B instead, because it's something new, it's something they're not used to. So the fact that kids will stare for less time at something that they've seen before is a sign that they're perceiving it, they're interpreting it, they're recognizing this is something I should know. And so this is connected with the high amplitude sucking, but this is with sound. So what they do is they set kids up, or infants, up to this pacifier, and they play a sound when the baby sucks on the pacifier. So sucking on the pacifier is what triggers the sound. After a while, the kid is like, okay, it's the same sound, whatever. They're not going to suck as vigorously because they get bored with it. They get habituated to it. And so then if you change up the sound, you make it a different sound, the kid will start sucking more vigorously again. And that again is a sign that they perceive that there's now a change in the sound coming through the pacifier. And so that is another way to measure perception in infants before they can actually verbalize what they're perceiving.